Kind of cheaper to go get fast food right now than to buy groceries.
Killing us without telling us they're killing us.
My daughter asking where her dad was. My daughter shouldn't be asking those type of questions.
My rent is $16.60. So I work 40 hours a week so I can have a 2-bedroom apartment.
Come in here and say who else lives like me, because I live paycheck by paycheck.
We have like $200 or $300 to last us until next Friday. Growing up, we were told, go to college, get a degree. Here we are.
Society wants us to fail.
Welcome back to More to Life. Now, before I get into this video, I ask that you like, comment, subscribe. Also, smash that notification bell just to be sure you get on my videos as soon as I release them. Let's get right into this.
I am so convinced Black people love to see each other struggle. What do I mean by that? Literally, this economy, not the mascara, this economy is so. Yes, I can afford my rent, but I could also be paying my mom's rent, her mortgage, for the amount that I pay my rent, and still saving. So I'm over here like, Mom, can I move in with you, back in with you? Like, mind you, I do not have kids. I do not have a man. Like, it's just straight me. She's like, no, you cannot move back in. Like, you know, all the issues with your dad and all this type of stuff. And it's just like, girl, I'm willing to risk my time and my efforts just so that I can save money, so that I can level myself up to in the next year. And you're just over here just like, no, like in a house. And it's just so mind-boggling to me, because it's just like, what? Every other ethnic background can help each other, but
I'm not sure if people just saw my live at the superstore. I'm totally uncomfortable going live in public. I'm like complete dark. But listen, I just saw some wicked prices on things that are bad, like wicked bad. Like 12 something for a case of pop. When did that happen? $6 for one tiny little watermelon. It actually says a mini watermelon.
Well, actually.
This is 100.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, stop.
Oh, that's good. Oh.
Let me see.
Squeeze, you sold this, Squeeze. I want more ripe with that, yeah. Too right.
$10 for potatoes, $10 for this, $10 for that, $10 for a thing of strawberries, $9 for a thing of raspberries. The cheaper things in here are around me right now. The junk food. So right now we're living in a world where, like, just for me and my husband, we can't really afford to eat the whole foods. They'll go bad before we can basically eat them all. They're super duper trying to freaking, like, poison us or kill us or something. I'm convinced of it at this point. Like, seriously. In my day, I'm still in my day. It's not back in my day. It's still my day. I've seen prices go up a lot. Like, a lot. I don't grocery shop a lot. I did. My husband loves to come out, put his earbuds in, and go. It hasn't really hit me. But I've seen some things out here today, so I cannot believe that things are that expensive. I'm not talking like a couple of cent jumps. We're talking like $2 to $5 jumps. When you're a family of, say, 2 children and a mom and dad, and you're looking at buying vegetables, fruit, these kids eat a lot. I don't know if you've babysat kids, I'm sure y'all got kids, but they go through snacks. Giving out a little pebble of grapes, because I think a grapes was $10, and they were moldy. So I just don't understand how families are supposed to survive. Food banks are not going to be able to keep up. Inflation is really, really hurting Canadians. And the government has to do something better. This has to stop. So I don't know what we can do, but keep doing whatever we can because we're all going to starve to death soon, or they're going to see people stealing groceries. Like, it's kind of cheaper to go get fast food right now than to buy groceries. Bye.
Is anyone else completely panicking because they lived through 2008 and like, I'm not ready for actually another recession in my lifetime. I'm so young. What is going on? That's a rhetorical question. My dad sent me an email and it says, while inflation has fallen considerably from a peak of 9.1% during June 2022, it remains well above Federal Reserve 2% goals. 2% goals, but 9.1. Additionally, when compared with January 2021, shortly before the inflation crisis began, prices are up a stunning 17.6%. High inflation has created severe financial pressure for most U.S. households, which are forced to pay more for everyday necessities like food and rent. Food prices are up 33.7% from the start of 2021, while shelter costs are up 18.7%. Energy prices, meanwhile, are up 32.8%. The typical U.S. household needed to pay $211 more a month in December to purchase the same goods and services it did a year ago. I just feel like people are out there gaslighting us, and we're like, does it seem like prices are incredibly high? And if this is something that you cannot watch because it just completely stresses you out, I completely understand. The way that I get ahead, and again, this is gonna be a privileged thought, so just stick with me on that, is to cut back on expenses, which is counterintuitive since technically I do marketing and my job is to convert people, right? So when I read something like that, I'm like, I go down the rabbit hole. I'm like, oh my God, I'm not gonna be able to perform. I'm going to lose clients. I'm going to be poor. I'm going to live in a box. It'll be a big box. But one of the things I did to prepare was to write down all of my unnecessary expenses and try to be so strict on my expenses, and just to be conscious of them. So I have a strict grocery budget, gas budget, eating out. I also have this plan for 2024. It's a goal to not buy any new clothes. This does not mean you can't buy used clothes. You can go thrifting. But if you would like to do that with me, I'm here for it. Comment below and I will support you. But overall, it's just like, are we all out here? Because I'm all for
Black women of TikTok, I want to talk to you for a minute. Now, one thing that was underestimated was the galvanizing that came from online registration and push for young people to vote, because young people really turned out, and people underestimate the power of social media when it comes to those things. But these numbers got me to thinking. You see that 36% of white women who voted, but that 64% that voted the opposite way. That 36% need to get it together with their own 64%. But we, the 90%, the ones who are always having women's backs, I feel like we need to move in the direction of the womanist movement and separate ourselves from the feminist movement. Although most of us don't belong to it, but I really feel like there needs to be a resurgence of the power of the womanist movement, where we build infrastructure, where we create tangibles, where we pour our resources into an initiative, into a candidate, into policies in our collective areas. The presidential election is coming up. For many, U.S. senator races are coming up the same year. I wonder if we all got together on a Zoom call, took our efforts underground, put a call out to Black women on this app, who are lawyers, who are historians, who are political activists, who are knowledgeable of financial infrastructure, who want to see change for Black women in this country across the diaspora. That's including Black American women.
See, before I let her talk, everything happened. The economy's crumbling. White women, they voted for Trump. And it looks just like this. Numbers look exactly the same. With Black men, Black women, white men, white woman. Now, you clearly see them here in the video talking about struggling. And who was guaranteeing these women lower prices? It was Trump. Kamala spoke nothing about it. Now, women are going crazy. But you see the struggles of America in this video. And he's giving that. But let me let her finish.
Women, Black women from the African continent, Black women who are Afro-Latina, Black women in the LGBTQ plus. What if we took our strategy offline and decided we put together a plan and we built our own infrastructure digitally, and we took those tangibles and pushed for change? What if we used our influence? Most of us have at least 50,000 followers each. What if we decided to link up and really bring some change in a new era for a new generation? Just a thought.
America's economic strain is hitting women the hardest. A Vero Bank study reveals a staggering 60% of American women now live paycheck to paycheck, a rate significantly higher than men's 41%. This financial fragility spans all political lines, with costs of living, diminishing savings, and rising debt as top concerns. Women, often underpaid and juggling family duties, are disproportionately affected. The pandemic's impact has only worsened the situation, with many struggling with basic household expenses. The Biden administration's battle with high inflation, now at 9%, adds to the burden. Dive deeper, tap the link below.
There you have it. They said it's killing women, and you clearly see it. Now, why is it killing women the hardest? I got to be real. It's the discipline, right? Men are not that far off, but 20% is not a low number, right? It's the discipline. Be more disciplined with your spending. You ask a man, what are you going to spend money on? Or what are you going to waste money on? A man is not going to buy a new car if he can't buy a new car. A lot of times, that's not worth the money. A man is not going to get a home. You see all of the single women buying homes. You see all of the single women buying new clothes, buying this, buying that. I've seen single women who were dead broke and taking out credit cards for groceries or invest in their grocery savings thing, whatever they call it. But yeah, they're living backwards.
Sad but true.
How hard has inflation hit you?
It hit me hard. It's hitting me hard.
What do you blame for it?
I blame the federal government at this point. If a working class mom who works as a paralegal cannot buy a $2 bell pepper because it's now $5, imagine a mother living on food stamps. Imagine a mother who's making minimum wage trying to feed children. They're killing us without killing us. If you understand that. They're killing us without telling us they're killing us. They're hurting people in ways that they can't help themselves. It's either feed my child or how about feed my children and I don't, but I have to go work.
Okay, where are the girlies getting their financial literacy from? More specifically, if you are a person of color, don't come from any money, and also you actually care about things. I found it's really difficult finding any resources that kind of fit that criteria. I don't want to feed the capitalist system, but I do know I'm a part of it, and I need to survive. So let me know, leave me your recommendations.
I am on the hunt to find a stay-at-home job because every job that I get, I am not able to work those jobs because those jobs require me to have a babysitter at the time. I don't have one, and it just doesn't work out in the long run. Those are the same jobs that pay so well. I am always looking for different options for work. Now, the only thing that I would have a hard time with is my almost 1-year-old. She is really clingy, as well as she cries a lot if I'm not holding her. And I heard the work-from-home jobs are very strict with background noises. Now, besides the whole job thing, I woke up in a good mood up until the point of my daughter asking where her dad was. My daughter shouldn't be asking those type of questions. She's been seeing her aunt, her grandma, and her grandpa, but just not her dad because he's refusing to be in her life. So it does upset me a lot. Now, he was absent for 4 years of my daughter's life, and in those 4 years, I was doing everything I could to accept the situation as it is. But for him to come back around all just to leave again, it makes me feel some type of way. And I genuinely feel like he only came back around to disturb my peace, as well as trying to paint me out to be a villain to his new girlfriend. And not one time did he ask if I needed any money for his daughter. Not one time did he even say sorry for neglecting our child for 4 years of her entire life. But what he did do was come around all to tell me what he's going to do, kind of call the shots, and if I can't accept it, then he wants no parts of his daughter's life. And even though his family wants to be involved, it's still not the same because my daughter's still missing a big piece of her world, and that's her dad.
Why is it that I have to work 40 hours a week just so I can have a place to live? 40 hours a week makes me $2,000 a month, and my rent is $1,660. So I work 40 hours a week so I can have a 2-bedroom apartment. I don't know what to do. I'm not made for this.
You know, a lot of people are making fun of this girl, but, you know, all of the points I want to make about this video are completely negated by the fact that she can't see the simple fact that she needs to get a roommate. $1,600+ a month for rent for one person in a 2-bedroom is absurd. Get a roommate, figure it out.
See, this is the problem, right, with a lot of women. See, women don't think logically a lot of the times. Like, Charleston White called it out the best. I hate to make it about the elections or anything, but he said it. He said, I would never vote for a woman president. And when he said that, he broke down why. And he made a lot of sense. It was simple. He said, men think with their logic, women think with their emotions. And then as he was speaking to her, he said, yeah, I feel like this. You feel like that. And after a while, she understood what he was saying. She agreed. First, she didn't agree. Then she agreed. And it's true. A lot of women don't realize certain things. They don't learn from doing, right? I'm in that situation. I'm going to know I need to lower things down and relocate. I said it before in a video like this. I'm going to relocate myself somewhere probably that's a little colder because that's going to be a lot cheaper, right? And I'm going to go there and live a happy life. I got to say this one thing. Where I was living before in upstate New York, rent was almost the same price as the Philippines. I repeat, rent was almost the same price as the Philippines. But will women move there? Will women move to somewhere cold? I think not.
Hi everybody, so I'm going to call this video a cry for help, and I'm going to tell you why did I decide to do this video. So 3 weeks ago, I got harassed by a homeless person in downtown San Diego. So I'm a city employee. I've been working for the city of San Diego for 9 years, and I'm trying to promote, and I've been promoted 4 times already. So I thank God about that. I mean, it wasn't easy. It took 9 years in order for me to get that promotion that I really wanted. And still with that wage, I'm unable to rent a house or an apartment for me and my 2 daughters. So why am I making this video? Well, when I got harassed, I got a lot of, I was upset, I was upset because the mayor or a city council, have homeless people, which I don't have anything against them, living right next to where we work at. And I was just thinking, like, how do they get so much help? How do they get apartments and housing and food stamps? And the people in prison, which again, I don't have anything against them, they also get good paying jobs, they get free school, and they get all the help they need. And what about us? How come we are invisible to the city councils, or how come we're invisible to the governor or to the mayor? Like, why are we invisible? Because we're good citizens. Sometimes I think we're getting punished for being a good citizen, for having a clean criminal record, for having no DUIs, for promoting and working for the government itself. But again, I'm not able to afford an apartment for the city that I work for. And I just want to come in here and say, who else lives like me? Because I live paycheck by paycheck. So that means that if I have another expense that I'm not planned, for example, a flat tire or my registration fees for my car, then I have to struggle in order to put some food on my daughter's table. You know, I have to share my house. Like, it's not even mine. I rent out 2 rooms. And it's crazy how I'm doing or trying to do everything right, and then again, I'm invisible. It seems that we are getting punished for being good citizens. And I know I'm not the only one here, but I do want to come in here and start and speak, because a lot of us, we just stay quiet. But you know, if it has to be me, if I have to live through this in order for to be me, the one that speaks up and finally get heard, you know, it's fine. And it's worth it, you know? So again, whoever needs to hear this, Governor of California, Mayor of San Diego, any city council, please help us, the one that we deserve the help, the ones that we work for you in order for the city to be the way it is. Please, I mean, at least give us an apartment, another program for us good citizens, please.
Now, same thing. She says she lives in San Diego, Sacramento. I was there in California for a layover to go back to the Philippines like 3 months ago, and the prices out there are bananas. Move, simply move. You're much better off.
This could not be a worse time to be 23 years old. During 9/11, I was like 1. During 2008 recession, I was like 7, 8 years old. During COVID, I was like 18, 19. Now, I'm an adult. I need to get my together. Like, this is actually so stressful when you grow up and you're like right in the middle of everything, but you're a kid, so you don't have to deal with it. But now you're an adult and you have no choice but to deal with it. Just so scary.
So I just had a guy tell me that the economy is booming and that the only reason people are struggling is because they're not working hard enough. Yep, so for all of us struggling, we're just not working hard enough. Does this guy realize that today there are people who are making $30,000 to $50,000 more dollars a year than they were making 3 to 5 years ago, but they are struggling more today than 3 to 5 years ago? Has this guy walked through a grocery store? Has he seen the price of chips? Has he seen the price of cereal? Has he seen the prices of anything? Does he realize that we have elderly who, in order to put food on the table, are having to go work at Walmart even though they're 80 years old? Does he realize that people who are in their 30s and 40s, who do have a job, who do have a good career, have moved back in with their parents because they can't afford the price of rent and they can't buy a home right now because the interest rates are so high and the prices of homes are still high? And then you add on property taxes, and then you add on home insurance. People can't afford that. And it's not as simple as go get a better job, go get a second job. It's not that simple. Telling a mom like me to go get a second job when I'm already working a full-time career and I already have a 2-hour commute every day, I don't have time for that. Okay, so what? I go get a second job and now I'm never with my children? How is that worth it? Oh, and now I have to go pay more daycare expenses? How is that worth it? Okay, we have a lot of people in this country, in this world, struggling, and the answer is not to bury your head in the sand and act like nothing's going on. Do not tell me the economy is booming. The economy is not booming when people are struggling the way they are. And when I mean people that have good jobs, who have good degrees, who have 2 incomes coming in their house, and the family is still struggling. That's not a booming economy.
Yeah, I think he was talking about something else that went a little bit overhead, and he should have fully explained it. I think what he's talking about was things that I understand, right? Since side hustles, there's so many things you can do now. If you even look on Instagram, see, a lot of people think those things are a scam. They think having an Instagram business is a scam. They think, doing what I'm doing now is a scam. They just don't see it. And there are so many ways you can make money. That's why he said the economy is booming. It's not booming as far as prices. Prices are sky high for everybody, all around the board, every country. But what he's talking about is opportunity. Opportunity is endless. And also that may be the reason why more men are not struggling, even in America, is because men have discipline. I'm sorry to say it, they do. And not all men. Some men just work that one job, but they're disciplined with that one job. But a lot of guys are taking up something else, taking up a second job, finding something they can do, anything to bring in more dollars. And that's what you need to do.
I'm a nurse. I'm a registered nurse. I work full time. He works full time. We just got paid this past Friday, right? We paid the mortgage, bought some groceries, put some gas in the car. And guys, it is Tuesday, and we have like $200 or $300 to last us until next Friday. Like, we don't live in a big house. We live in a little ranch. It's 1,100 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 1 bath, us and our 2 kids. And like, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm in school full time. I work full time. He works more than full time. He works overtime every week.
Did she just say she's in school full time?
I don't know what to do. I'm so stressed out. This isn't how it's supposed to be. You know, growing up we were told, you know, go to college, get a degree, work to support your family. Here we are. Did that. Now what? Now what? I'm not into politics. I don't follow it. Frankly, that stresses me out too. But like, I don't know, somebody has to do something to change this, because like, I make good money. He makes good money. We don't live above our means. I don't know what less than paycheck to paycheck is. What is that? Poverty. As a registered nurse, with a husband, with a second income. He doesn't make as much as I do, but he still works and brings home good money. So, I don't know. While I was in school, all I could think about was, it'll get better. It'll get better after I graduate and I start working, and we'll be able to pay our bills. We'll be able to not check the bank account if our kids say, "Mom, can we go to the movies this weekend?" Just be comfortable. And we're not. We're not at all. I don't know what else to say. It's just, I don't know. I know there's been a lot of videos on TikTok about people, talking about the economy and, just how out of control prices are right now. We're all talking about it. I feel like none of...
This is a little bit depressing, but society wants us to fail. Society is designed to keep us broke.
Himself out. No accountability.
Today I watched a news broadcast about a woman in Australia who was going into credit card debt because she couldn't afford food. So she can't afford to eat, so she's putting it on her credit card, and then that credit card is acquiring interest, which is making it more expensive. So not only can she not afford to eat, but now she's having to pay off a whole credit card bill, including all the interest that she is accumulating from not paying off her credit card. I mean, in normal cases, I would just say don't use your credit card because, you know, it's cheaper not to use your credit card if you can't pay it off. But you need to eat. People need to eat. And this is how people stay poor. Because it's a never-ending cycle. People just keep getting further and further into debt. I mean, this isn't the only way that society keeps us poor, but this really stuck out for me today. Because I know this woman is not the only person experiencing this. This is happening everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, society is designed that way. When they created a capitalist environment, it's designed that way. And you have a lot of guys that get rich. They get richer by you staying poorer. They're getting richer, you know? And you can look at it. And you can look at what those guys do and learn from it. Like, look at the richest billionaires around. What are all of them doing? They're playing the stock market. They're investing in things. And that's the way to go. You have to say, okay, how can I get to that point to be more like those guys? Like when you look at, but this is a wild thing. I see, I guess my Instagram is different. I see all of my Instagram, rich dad, poor dad. I see so many things, do this before you get this and do that. And I see so much financial advice. And it's wild. It's like, I feel like these people are talking. It's like I'm living in a different world. Seriously. Because this is common sense. That's all I see on my Instagram posts is common sense things that says things like that. Like before you get a car, make sure you do this. Before you get a house, make sure you do this. Before you get this and spend your money on this, you know, make sure you do this. The rich guys are doing 65% investing, 10% for your needs, 25% for your wants or something like that. And I see this all day long. And I go, it's confusing to me. Seriously. It is. Because people are living backwards and they don't see it. And a lot of women don't see it. It's mostly women. And I do feel bad for them. I don't actually, because they put themselves in that problem. Because really, I don't want to talk about it, but it's bad, man. And they should see a way out, but they can't because they won't listen. And only know one thing. More guys are staying away for that reason because they realize it's definitely more than life. They're being involved with people like that.